The following program has been rated PG-13.
Shalom, Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His word. And Israel, y'all know I missed this last week because last week we was dealing with some serious business. But I am so happy that we are able to be back here this week so that I can say, I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And family, we have a lot that we have to cover today. So, as y'all already know, we had business that we had to handle a couple of weeks ago. We were going to do a giveaway of this wonderful, magnificent gift coming from courtesy of Lyre Roots. Queen Lyre and her wonderful products is a gift from me to you. And we were supposed to have a drawing for that. But of course, YouTube decided that they wanted to act up, right? So I've chosen two names from last week that was in the live chat. Two names. The first name here that I'm going to read out is going to be the winner. Now, here are the rules. You have 24 hours to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm exclusively doing this for Instagram. That's how it's going from now on. It's going to be on Instagram. I want you to reach out to me on Instagram. You have 24 hours. The time now is 7:03 Central Standard Time. So whatever time zone you're in, you have 24 hours to reach out to me to let me know that you are the winner. If you don't reach out to me and I don't hear from you, then it goes to the second runner-up, and I've chosen their name here as well. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get those names. Drum roll, please. All right. If your name is Kohath Israel, you are the winner. Congratulations, and please forgive me if I mispronounced your name. Please forgive me. But Kohath Israel, as you can see right here, as it says, you are our winner. Congratulations. Remember, 24 hours you have to get in contact with me on Instagram to let me know that you are the winner. Now, if Kohath does not get in contact with us, with me, here is the runner-up. Drum roll, please. All right. If your name is Peace in the Puzzle, then you are the second runner-up. And I'm going to say congratulations to you as well. Because if Kohath happens to claim his prize, then I am going to send you a t-shirt courtesy of yours truly. And it's going to be fringed out and everything. And I'm going to send that to you. So remember, we win. We are not losers. All right? So now, one of my more favorite things that I love doing right now on this platform is supporting our Israelite businesses. Israel. I can't even begin to give this an introduction because of how awesome it is. Let me just segue into it with this. Family, look at this. I want you to take a look at the artistry of this work. Israel, look at this. This here is one of our queens here, Queen Carlia of Sweet Creations. These are her designs. This was created by one queen. Look at this. Take a look at this. Look at her in action right now. Look at this. Israel, remember when I was talking about the talents? Look at this queen go. Look at her at work. Look at this. So amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at the body of her work, Israel. Do you see that? So this is Queen Carlia of Sweet Creations. Now, just to let y'all know right now, I want everybody that's in the Tennessee area, because that's where she's located. She is in the Tennessee area, and I want everybody in that area to support this sister. Support her. Support her. And what we're going to do, we are going to support her right here tonight. Because this, unfortunately, this can only be for our kings and queens and princes and princesses in the Tennessee area. Memphis, I believe. Queen Carlia, if that is incorrect, please leave it in the live chat to let us know exactly where you are. All right, but I am going to purchase somebody one of her magnificent cakes. All you have to do is be the very first person to reach out to me on Instagram with a hashtag #GetThemCakes. Not get them cakes, get them cakes. DEM. All right. Go ahead. The first person to reach out to me on Instagram, I'm going to see it, and you will have one here from Queen Carlia of Sweet Creations, courtesy of yours truly, because we need to support Israelite businesses, and I have to know someone that has had one of those magnificent cakes right there. I'm telling, man, that sister's bad. That sister's bad. I don't give a damn what y'all say. That is skill. You understand me? That is skill right there, for real. And she did many of them. You see how many she did? A whole bunch. And it's like, I spoke to the sister, and it's like nothing to her. She's like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, yo, go ahead, sis, with your bad ass. Go ahead. But that's all about the talent still. Remember when we talked about the talents? Now all of our people are coming out with their talents, and here we are showing it right here on our platform, because no talent should go unrecognized. I'm letting y'all know that right now. I truly, truly believe that. Now, Israel, let's go ahead into this lesson. What are we going to talk about here tonight, Israel? We're going to talk about suicide. Now, there are a lot of people, when they get on the subject of suicide, it's really mopey and, it's really humdrum and no, we're not going to do that here tonight. We are going to talk about suicide, but there is a different energy that we have to have when we're talking about suicide. Because first of all, what we need to do is warn our people, not mourn our people, okay? There's a difference. Big difference. And we can be in these scriptures and have these discussions with a very high energy and giving praise to the Most High as his scriptures come out to us. All right. So we don't have to have this whole morbid type environment when we're talking about this. Absolutely not. And I'm going to prove it. So the first thing that we have to do, we have to open up our Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. That's right. The King James Version Bible. Okay, Israel, I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 43. Isaiah chapter 43. Go down to verse 3. Listen to this, Israel. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, since you was precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee and people for thy life. So what is the Most High saying right here? The Most High is saying, you are precious in my sight, Israel. Do you see how he didn't say the whole world? He said Israel. He said Israel. Israel is precious in my sight. Precious in his sight. Not the whole world. Israel. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and don't you ever forget it. Don't you ever forget that. We were made precious in his sight. So now we have to ask the question, if we are precious in the sight of the Most High, is it a sin to commit suicide? I think many of you already know that answer. I think you already know the answer. I had to pick up my water there. I'm sorry. You know the answer. But we just have to get the proof. We got to get that proof. So now, I want you to go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. Exodus, as we already know, book of the laws, right? Book of the laws. So let's go ahead and start this off. Exodus chapter 20, go down to verse 13. Now, this is the 10 commandments, the big bold, as I like to call it. Listen to what this says, Israel. Thou shalt not kill. Do you see any parentheses or any commas or anything after that. No. It says, thou shalt not kill. That includes other people and yourself. That's the law. That's the law. Those are the instructions. You are not allowed to kill yourself. Per the commandments. Per the Big Ten, the big bold. Okay? Now, let's go to the next one here. I want you to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Go down to verse 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Go down to verse 16. All right? Now, this is why you are not permitted to commit suicide. Watch this. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. I'm going to read that again. If any man or woman defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy. Which temple are ye? You see that? What the Most High say, Israel? He straight up said, you are not allowed to destroy my temple. You are not allowed to destroy my temple. So let's get into that for a little bit. Destroying the temple. So first of all, clearly that means suicide. You cannot go and kill yourself, number one. Number two, how else can you destroy your temple, Israel? By smoking, drugs. I mean, whether that be cigarettes, whether it be meth, coke, crack, weed. I know y'all was tensing up when I said that. Ooh, no, nigga, don't say weed. Don't say weed. Yes, weed. You cannot put that into your temple. You cannot. So for all those people there, well, weed is natural. It's from the earth. Okay, well, guess what? How about you get it in a medicinal form? How about you do that? That's right. Versus taking it as an inhalation into your lungs. Huh? What? And so many people, oh man, nah, it gotta be smoked. Yeah, we know why, because that's your drug. Okay, but guess what? You continue in that nonsense, guess what's gonna happen? You're committing spiritual suicide. Why? And you'll find out. Oh, you'll definitely find out. What else? Your diet. Your diet, Israel, your diet. Putting food in your body that the Most High said you cannot. That is why he gave us dietary laws. So all of the food outside that the Most High said we cannot have, guess what? You are destroying your temple. You are destroying your temple by putting in anything that the Most High said we could not have. You are polluting your body from the inside out. You're polluting your body, thus causing spiritual suicide, and you'll find out why. You'll find out. Okay. I'm going to read this one more time. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy. Which temple are ye? You see that? That's why. If you destroy the temple, whether it be through self-afflicted suicide, whatever it may be, gun, knife, hanging, whatever it is, or putting crap food inside your body, or destroying your body with drugs, the Most High said he's going to destroy you. Bottom line, you can get mad all you want to. That's what the scriptures say. Not my opinion. That is what the scriptures say. Now, let's go to Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. Go down to verse 17, Israel. Watch this. I want y'all to really pay attention to this one right here. Be not over much wicked. Be not over much wicked. In other words, don't be too wicked. Neither be thou foolish. You see what's associated with that? Foolishness is associated with that. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? So the Most High is saying, wait a second, why would you die before your time? I gave you an appointed time, a time that I decided when you're leaving, which you don't know. Who are you? Who in the world are you to take my time away from me? Who are you? That right there, seriously, that, when you think about that, the whole idea behind suicide is like, wait a second, God, you didn't do a good enough job. You don't know what you're doing, God, so I'm going to take my own life. Isn't that crazy? It's like the nerve, the absolute nerve of somebody to go and do that. That is crazy. When you really stop and think about the whole idea behind suicide, you're going to find out just how crazy it really is. Because I already know these churches did not break this down like this, but you're going to see. I want to read it one more time. Be not overmuch wicked. That's the warning right there. Be not overmuch wicked. Neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Just going to show you that there is an appointed time for you to die. Now, I want you to go to Psalms 34. Psalms 34. And as you can see, we are have a pretty high tempo pace tonight because there's a lot that we have to cover. So Psalms 34, and I want you to go to verse 17. Now, remember how it spoke of the wicked in Ecclesiastes 7? Remember how it said it was wicked and foolish for you to go before your appointed time? Israel, watch this. Verse 17, excuse me. The righteous. Now remember, Ecclesiastes, it was talking about the wicked. Now here are the righteous. Listen what it says about the righteous. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and deliver them out of all their troubles. You see that? The righteous. The Most High said he hears the righteous. Now, as we went over many times before, the Most High heareth not sinners. Remember? The Most High heareth not sinners. Who are the sinners? The wicked. The ones that do not keep the Lord's statutes or commandments and just totally ignore them. But the Most High said, the righteous I hear. Those of you keeping my Lord's statutes and commandments, I hear. All right? I'm going to read this again. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. So when you keep the commandments, the Most High said, I hear you. When you cry out to me, I hear you, and I'm going to deliver you out your trouble. Verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. There he is. There he is. Saying it again. For those of us that are righteous, I'm going to deliver you out of every situation, out of all. And right here, let me read this one here again. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken hearts. For those of you out there that are dealing with broken hearts and you are going through things, but you are a commandment keeper, the Most High said, I'm near you. There is no reason for suicide, Israel. The Most High said, I'm right there. Nigh means near. I'm right there near you. I'm near you. Right by. I'm your support. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Now, contrite, that is not an everyday term. So let's go ahead and get the definition of contrite. Let's see what that means. Of a contrite spirit. Let's see. The definition of contrite. Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence affected by guilt. So, a heavy heart, somebody going through something, whether it be through death or, a breakup or whatever the case may be. Breakup meaning like between husband and wife, not boyfriend and girlfriend. The Most High does not recognize boyfriend and girlfriend. He's talking about, when your marriage or something like that is failing. You have a heavy heart. The Most High said, listen, I'm right there near you. Right there, according to scripture. All right? And let me go ahead and continue. Now, go down to verse 20. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Not one of them is broken. The Most High said that the person that you keep your bones. You know what that means? That means no pain, no suffering, you keep in your bones. That's what it says, Israel. Not my words, his. All right. So now let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. I want you to go down to verse 19. All right. Israel, watch this. Pay attention to this. What? Know ye not that your body is of the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Do you see what it said right there? And here, Paul again is referencing what he said in chapter 3. But he said that you were bought with a price, meaning that body don't belong to you. It does not belong to you. He said that your body is the temple of the Lord, the Holy Spirit, and that your body is of God's. So who are you to destroy your body? Who are you to say, you know what, after church on Sunday, I'm going to go and just eat all the pork I want to. I'm going to go after church and go to a catfish fry. I'm going to do it because it's my body and I'll do what I want with it. The Most High didn't say that. He didn't say that at all. He said, that's my body. That's my property that you are destroying. And because you want to destroy my property, I'm going to destroy you. Per scripture. And we read it. We read it. And if you got a problem with that, don't take it up with me. Take it up with the Most High. Yep, you can don't bring it to my, you can get out my face. Don't bring it to me. So now let's go to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, go down to verse 29. Jeremiah chapter 29. All right. Now go down to verse 11. Go there. Listen to what the Most High says. Listen to what he says. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Israel. Do you see how the Most High said, first of all, my thoughts towards you are thoughts of peace. This is the Most High talking. He said, my thoughts towards you are thoughts of peace and not evil. Not evil. Now, I know that there's so many of you that may feel like the Most High is so disappointed in you because when you review your life and you get into these laws, statutes, and commandments, when that truth hits you that you haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing, we are going to feel guilt. It's called repentance. That is a great feeling to have. That is a wonderful feeling to have because it lets you know that you are conscious of what's right and wrong according to the scriptures. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good that you feel that. That feeling right there should lead you to complete repentance. And you'll find out why. Oh, we will get into that later. But you don't need to be feeling like the world is over. You don't need to feel like your world has just come to an end. No. Because what did the Most High say? He said that his thoughts are of peace and not of evil. So you can go ahead and get that out your mind right now. That's not what the Most High said. He ain't wishing no evil on you. He does not wish evil on the righteous. He doesn't. So for any person that wants to sit there and try to guilt trip you into things, let me tell you something right now. You tell them to get out your face. Let me expound on that for a second. Israel, listen to me. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to me really, really well. If you have people in your life that are so dopey and mopey, and they are never happy about anything, they can't find the happiness of a crate full of beautiful puppies. They're just do you know these people that when they enter the room, they just suck the air out of the room? They just, all the happiness, all the bright lights and everything. It just seems like this spirit, this darkness just comes over the room when they enter it. I know I'm not the only person that goes through that. And I understand that you may not react because that person may be sitting right next to you. I get that. All right? So don't have a reaction before you get slapped. Don't do that. But you know what I'm talking about, though. But let me tell you this. I want you to get those people out of your life. I want you to get those people out of your life. Because they are spirits. They're soul suckers. And you don't deserve that. I know that you guys have been around people, it could be the most beautiful, brightest day, not a cloud in the sky. The sky is so blue. The sun is so beautiful. It's like a 75, 80 degree weather. Everything is just perfect. The atmosphere. And you woke up and you were bouncing, you know what I'm saying? You start dancing, doing whatever. And then all of a sudden, here come this person that just enters into your atmosphere. Oh, well, there's the sun. And by 6 o'clock tonight, it's going to lose all its shine and back to the darkness. I'm like, oh, get away from me. I can't stand people like that. It's like, won't you just look at the sun and enjoy it and soak some of it up and put it all over your ass? Find some there's happiness somewhere, it has to be. But there's just some people, they just don't have any happiness at all. None. And they want to take you right along with them on their damn morbid express. No. Get those people out of your life. Because those are the very people right there that will assist you in committing suicide. And then they're going to live to tell about it. And now you're the reason why they want to remain depressed and in their state of just morbid stupidity. Get them people out your life. I'm telling you, run from those people. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3, the book of wisdom, Go down to verse 5. Now, many of you have heard this before and really never put it together. Verse 5, trust in the Lord with, let me start this again. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. And that's why I had to make that pause right there because I was about to mess up, but I said, nope, I got to stop. I want to make sure I read that 100% clear. I'm going to do it again. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And he shall direct thy path. The Most High is saying, don't trust your own understanding. I'm going to direct your ways. Because when we rely on our own understanding, there's somebody out there that's like, you know what? I want to commit suicide. I just want to take it all. I just want to end it all. Because things are not going my way. Israel, let me tell y'all something right now about suicide. Let me explain something to you. Suicide, number one, is one of the most selfish acts that any person could ever commit. I'm letting you know right now. And especially if they have children or a family or a wife or a husband or somebody that they have to raise or take care of. Even for themselves. Selfish. And a lot of people link depression as the cause of suicide. It's not. Depression is a side effect of this right here. Do you know what the true spirit of suicide is? It's manipulation and it's control. That is what that is the spirit that suicide derives from. Manipulation and control. Because you have somebody that they love to manipulate people, have them as marionettes, just have them. And when you go against, when you cut them strings and they lose that control, they talk about suicide. I'm going to kill myself. Oh, okay. Me? I'm like, God, Go ahead. I just ask that you do two things. Number one, don't do it in my house. And number two, get the hell off my property. That's it. That's all I ask. If you want to commit suicide, you go right ahead. If you want to be selfish, you go right ahead. Because people will do that to try to get you into a guilt trip. And then when all else is done and they can no longer manipulate anybody else, then they want to go ahead and take their damn life. They're like, that's on you. That's on you. Now, should every circumstance like that be of the attitude that I just said? Absolutely not. No. There are people that are suffering from mental illnesses and things like that out there. Now, those individuals, I have absolutely no problem helping. None whatsoever. But there are those people that you know that are controlling and manipulative. You know who they are. Then there's actual genuine people out there, our family, Israelites, that need the assistance, that need it, that need the help. These individuals actually need the real help, and they do. They really, really do. And let me tell you something right now, for every last one of our people that's getting into the profession of therapy, let me tell you something right now. And I'm talking about Israelites. I'm talking about us. All right. I'm not talking about Esau and his damn pharmaceutical and psychotropic recommendations. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our people. For all of you that are pursuing the career of therapy, if you want your practice to be successful, implement the scriptures, the word of the Most High God, into your recommendations, into your therapy, into your sessions with your patients. Why? This is the medicine. This is what works. This is what's going to get that spirit out of them. Because what does the Bible give our people? Hope, faith, structure, foundation, love. He's the answer. It's the Most High. It's the Most High. Not psychotropic medicine. The Most High. The greatest medicine you'll ever receive. The greatest. The absolute greatest. I want to read Proverbs 3 and 5 one more time. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, therapist, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In other words, none of that vain crap that the nations give you, that Esau gives you out of his little books. No. The only book that you need is the Bible. That is it. That's it. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. In all thy ways, meaning, therapists, for you to direct your patients in the ways of the Most High, which means his ways are your ways, which should be their ways too. That's what it is. Because all the medicine that person need is in the scriptures. And let me tell you something right now. I want to thank all of you that are pursuing this. And it doesn't even have to be those of you who are pursuing a career, but those of you avuncular figures, you aunts, you mothers, you maternal and paternal figures to people that's not even your children. And you sit them down and you give them therapy. Give them that therapy. Give them the Bible. Many of you out there are therapists right now and don't even know. Don't even acknowledge it because it's not a career. But guess what? It for damn sure is your talent. And again, we got to bring out that talent again. Many of you are very, very talented in that arena. Very. Don't even know it. Don't even know it. But you know now. Okay. So now let's go to Psalms chapter 147. Psalms chapter 147. Go to verse 3. I want to read something to you. Listen to this, Israel. He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. So right there, that's a precept to what we just read. He heals your wounds, the Most High. Let me read it again. He healeth the broken in heart, the brokenhearted, those who are dealing with death, those who are battling depression, the broken hearts. He said he heals it. He heals it. That is the guarantee that is in the scriptures. He is the one that's doing the healing. No prescribed medicine. The Most High is the one that's sitting there telling you, don't you think about killing yourself. Don't you think about putting that bullet in your head. Don't you think about taking an overdose of this medicine. Don't you think about any of those things. I got you. Your husband don't got you. Your wife don't got you. Your children don't got you. I got you. Put that damn gun down. Stop putting that pork in your body and overeating and overindulging in the foods that we're not supposed to put in our body. Stop doing that. Comfort eating is what they call it. Spiritual suicide. See, suicide is not only physical, it's also spiritual as well, if you haven't picked up on that by now. How the Most High said, I'm going to destroy you for destroying my temple. The temple is already destroyed. So how else can he destroy you? In your afterlife. That's where the real suicide comes in. That's the real one right there. I'm telling y'all. Let me get a drink real quick. We got to get better as a nation when it comes to this stuff. We really do. We have to take care of each other on levels that we never even thought about, that we were never taught, never even possibly imagined. But seriously, let me tell you something real quick. Let me sidebar here real quick. I love, first of all, the Most High says, give honor when honor is due, and I want to do that right now. Queen Tanya. Queen, you already know. You already know, Queen. And I want to thank you so much, not only you, but also Queen Trinell as well. First of all, King Ronnie. All of our people. All of our people. Queen Cream Soda. Brother Melvin. King Melvin. I call him my brother because me and him, we me and our brother, man, we in sync. We are so in sync. And we talk to each other and we encourage each other all the time. Queen Liar. All the time. And we just have discussions with each other all the time. And I know that these individuals also reach out to our other family members as well. And I love y'all for it. I love y'all for it. And I did not purposely leave anybody out. I didn't. But to take a roll call of everyone's name there, I just cannot do for the purpose of time, for the sake of time. But I just want y'all to see how we are networked here as a family. Because I know a lot of y'all ask, there's so many people that ask me, what camp are you with or whatever. We created a family, a real one, a real family. So that, guess what? If anyone is ever feeling down or if anyone has any sort of suicidal thoughts, no. We got this. No, doctor, go, no, we all right. I got my brother. I got my sister. And it's growing and growing and growing. I don't care what you say. The Most High has blessed this platform. He blessed us. The Most High has blessed his family. He really has. And continuing too. Continuing. And guess what? Nobody can deny it. All right. Next. I want to read Psalms one more time. He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. Bindeth up their wounds. He fixes them. Takes their wound, cauterizes it, and then wipes it away like it never been there before. Whew. All praises to the Most High God. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Go down to verse 19. Let me read this here to you real quick, Israel. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, and both thou and thy seed may live. Israel, what did the Most High just say right here? He said, choose life. Choose life. Choose life. He said, I set before you life and death. I'm going to give you an option. I set before you, here's life and here's death. Here's life and here's death. Choose life. Choose this one right here. He gave you the answer. Not even multiple choice. Open book. He gave it to you right here. Choose life. So if you were to ask yourself, am I sinning if I commit suicide? Yes. Yes, you are. Because you got the instructions to choose life. And if you choose the other, you're in sin. There it is. That's the direction. All right. Now, let's go to 2 Corinthians. I've been waiting to get to this one. I can't wait to get to this one. 2 Corinthians, I'll go to chapter 12. I'm going to start at, let's start at verse 1. I want to read this here because this is one of the more profound scriptures when it comes to how Israelites are to deal with the afflictions that they have. And I don't see this one come out enough. Honestly, I really, really don't. But of course, we gonna bring it. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, start at verse 1. It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. So Paul is talking about, I'm going to have some visions and revelations of the Most High that he's going to show him. Verse 2. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth, such an one caught up in the third heaven. So what is Paul saying right here? Something supernatural is happening. He said, wait a second. Now, I know this guy over 14 years. And I can't tell whether if I was in my body or if I had an outer body experience. But all I know is that I was in the third heaven. These revelations of the Most High. Watch. Verse 3. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth. He's saying it again. He said, God knows. I don't know. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. So this man was up in the third heaven, and he said, there are some words being said up here. There's some things happening up here that it is absolutely 100% not lawful for you to go tell anybody else. In other words, what goes on up here stays up here. This is our business. But he had the privilege to go up there. Verse 5. Of such an one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in mine infirmity. So he's saying, well, out of all this magnificent thing that just happened, I'm not going to go ahead and blow myself up. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to glory in my infirmities. Do you know what your infirmities are? Your sicknesses, your illnesses, whether it be mental or whether it be physical. He said, I'm going to glorify my infirmities. I'm going to glorify these things that I'm going through. I'm going to glorify my afflictions. Now, does that sound like the suicidal? No. Because the suicidal, everything that's going on with them, they're like, I can't take it. I got to go. But Paul right here is saying, wait a second, I'm going through all of this and we're going to finish it. But he said, I'm going through all of this and I'm going to glorify what I'm going through. Let's continue. Verse 6. For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool. Didn't we hear that earlier? For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. Verse 7. And lest I should be exalted above measure, through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So Paul said that I have this thorn in my flesh. There's something going on in my body. That's why he said flesh. And here it is, an agent, a messenger of Satan comes to afflict me and bother me with this thing here. Satan sent it. And he's right here bothering me with this here. But what did Paul say? I still glorify. I still glorify. And that word buffet, you know what buffet means? It means to strike hard, to blow, to agitate, to cause pain. Verse 8. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. So Paul said, I went to the Lord 3 times and asked him, Lord, please take this out of me. Get rid of this in me. Listen to this, verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Do you understand what that just said right there? He went to the Lord, and the Lord said, no. My grace is sufficient enough. Do you know what that means? Do you get what he's saying? He said, my grace is sufficient enough. You better be glad I woke your black ass up this morning so that you can deal with these infirmities. My grace is sufficient enough. Deal with it is what he's saying. Deal with it. And why is he saying deal with it, Israel? Because remember what the Most High does. The Most High is going to put us through things to refine us in the fire as silver and gold and refine us. He's saying, I'm going to take you to your peak performance. I am going to show the world just how my Israelites can endure. I'm going to show you how badass they are. I'm going to show you everything that they go through. I'm going to show you, first of all, let's look at slavery. Anybody else, any other nation would have died with that. Any other nation would have died in slavery. The conditions. First of all, working in the heat all day. Then the crappiest of the food, no nourishment, no proper nourishment. Nothing. The whippings, the beatings, the rape, the mental torture, everything that we've been through, Israel, everything that we've been through. And the Most High said, look at my babies down there. Guess what? Yes, I'm beating their ass for them being disobedient, but every other nation on this planet know that they were never, ever meant to endure what we endure and still endure today. They can't touch us. The greatest people on the earth, Deuteronomy 7:6. The Most High said, I built you to endure. That is why suicide is not in our spirit. That is not of us. I built you to endure. My grace is sufficient enough. Listen to the rest. My grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Paul is saying, I'm going to glorify my ailments. But the suicidal mind, though, no, I can't do it. No. Verse 10, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities. Paul is saying, bring it. Do you see the strength of our forefathers? Paul is saying, you know what? Bring it. Whatever I got, bring it. Bring it. In reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Your weakness, the things that we go through, all of the persecution, all these things that we go through, when we go through these things here, Israel, the Most High is saying, you are the strongest people on the planet, bar none. You understand that, Black, Hispanic, and Native American? Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand what the Most High is saying here? He said, Deuteronomy 7:6, you are a peculiar people. You are a special people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above. What did he say? Above. And don't you let anybody tell you any damn different. We are not to be suicidal. We are to ride this out and let the whole world see our glory. Do you understand me? There's no such thing as this copping out suicide garbage. When things happen to you, man up. Man up. And I'm talking to you kings, and I'm talking to you princes right now. We are the backbone of this world. Us, the leaders. There's no more of that copping out garbage. There's no more of that weak, feeble-minded nonsense. We better get our minds right, and we better get it right quick. Because guess what? The clock is ticking. Time is running out. It's us. It's us. And guess what? Our queens and princesses, they're dependent on us. They're dependent on us to help rebuild our nation through walking in the Most High's ways, and He is directing our paths. The only way that this works, kings and princes, we got to keep the commandments. And we have to show the world just how great our God is. Ours, ours, ours. Next, let's go. Let me read this last part one more time. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities. I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Do you understand? Again, just came in my head. Even when you are on your jobs and you got that silly ass boss and them people around you that just can't stand you. They hate your guts. And that's our own people too. Our own people. Because not all of our people are in this truth. They're not. For many of you, that can be your husband or your wife that sit and persecute you every day. Yeah. For many of our youth, it's your parents that persecute you every day. Oh yeah. You see where your strength is at? Your strength is in the Most High. In the Most High, not in yourself. Now, let's talk about this case of suicide here. Let me ask y'all a question. Are y'all familiar with this man right here? Do y'all know who this is? This is one of the pioneers of black culture. This is Don Cornelius, for those of you who don't know. Don Cornelius, he is the creator of the beloved Soul Train. Soul Train. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what happened, I believe the year was 2012, but Don Cornelius committed suicide. He committed suicide. And I'm going to show you this here. We're going to read some things. But I'm bringing this one here to our attention because I want you to see where another spirit of suicide comes from, Israel. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. First things first, I want to keep it scriptural. I want you to go to Psalms chapter 13. Go to Psalms chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 2. Psalms chapter 13, verse 2. Okay? Israel, watch this. How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? I'm going to read that again. How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Open my eyes wide, unless I'm dead. Lest mine enemy say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. So, Israel, let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask you a question. Who are our enemies, Israel? This should not be a hard answer. But for those of you who don't know, let's get the scriptures to define and identify who our enemies are. Go to Deuteronomy. Go to book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. That's right. We are going to the curses. Go down to verse 25. Verse 25. Let me read this here. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten, meaning destroyed, beaten, ravaged, before thine enemies, Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Israel, let's get the explanation of this here. Why were we scattered and driven out into all the kingdoms of the world? First of all, aren't we the royal ones? Aren't we the royal family? There was only one kingdom, but we broke the commandments and continue to this day. And the Most High had to take the world and break it up into sections and give kingdom upon kingdom upon kingdom upon kingdom just to contain us. Just to go to show you right there that the whole world can't hold us. They can't hold us. So we were driven into these kingdoms. That's all the other nations, all of them. But tonight we're talking about one particular. Go down to verse 48 now. Same book, go down to verse 48. Here we go. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And let me show you something right here. Here are the yokes of iron. First, on the southern kingdom, and now on the northern kingdom. There you go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go to the bread and butter of this here. Go down to verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Into Egypt meaning slavery, because Egypt is synonymous with slavery. Egypt means bondage. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, the slave ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, by the way that I'm telling you it's going to happen. Thou shalt see it no more again. We shall not see our homeland of Jerusalem again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy you. Meaning that no man is going to be able to redeem you from this curse that the Most High put on us. Those are our enemies, Israel. Now, Israel, take a look at this. Israel, do you see this? Do you see this here? That's right. That's Don Cornelius' wife. Her name is Victoria. That's his wife. Now do you see where this other spirit of suicide came from? Oh, no, not yet. Oh, not yet. And I know so many of you right now thinking, he's so mean. Oh, am I? Really? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you something. Just for those who want to think that I'm being mean and I'm being very mean-spirited or whatever, let me go ahead. Let me just give you some evidence. Let's give you the background here of what happened the whole time with Don Cornelius and his wife. Let me go ahead and get this pulled up here. I'm going to read you some things, Israel. This is coming from CNN. CNN.com, rather. Listen to this. The death of Don Cornelius, the founder of the Soul Train television show, has been ruled a suicide. Isn't that the subject we're talking about? Officials said Tuesday. Cornelius, 75, died last week of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, according to a statement from the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. His autopsy was conducted Friday, and that was December 11, 2012. So now we're going to go to an article that was just a little further than that. As a matter of fact, this happened in, let's see here. This one here took place in February. Watch this. Cause, and this is coming from abcnews.go.com. Cause, Don Cornelius' death from a self-inflicted gunshot wound has drawn new attention to the dark side of the Soul Train founder. I'll get it. You already know I got something to say. Cornelius, 75, was plagued by health problems in the last 3 decades of his life. He underwent a 21-hour operation in 1982 to correct a congenital malformation in blood vessels in his brain. Israel, what did you pick up on with that last part right there? What did you pick up on? Now do you see how all of a sudden Don Cornelius has a dark side? A dark side. And you're going to find out why he's talking about this dark side here. But I want you to really pay attention to what else was said. That Don Cornelius went through 3 decades of health issues. 3 decades of health issues. That stems back all the way to 1982. 3 decades of health issues. And it's going to mean something here as I bring this out. As I bring this out to you from what it actually says. Because now I'm getting ready to read you something else here. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up now. Trust me, you're going to see. You are going to see. Trust me, trust me, trust me. The beauty of Wi-Fi. Israel, listen to this. And this is coming from dailymail.com. Hated Russian ex-wife of tragic Soul Train creator Don Cornelius set to get $300,000 life insurance after he shoots himself dead. Don Cornelius left behind 2 lucrative life insurance policies worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, which will go to his ex-wife, whom he divorced after a bitter legal battle 3 years ago. The creator of Soul Train was found dead in an apparent suicide at his home in the early hours of this morning, according to police. The 75-year-old was found at his mansion in Sherman Oaks, California, with a gunshot wound to the head, which was reportedly self-inflicted. It has been revealed that his ex-wife, Victoria Chapman Cornelius, do you see that hyphenated BS? Didn't even have enough respect to lose her last name to take his, showing you that she didn't think he was worth a damn. It has been revealed that his ex-wife, Victoria Chapman Cornelius, whom he hated, according to TMZ, will receive around $300,000 in insurance payouts. For Cornelius and his second wife, a Russian model, Esau, had their divorce finalized in 2009 amid allegations of domestic abuse on both sides. He told an LA judge he was suffering from significant health issues at the time. He was believed to have suffered a stroke and had brain surgery in recent years, which left him in a great deal of pain. Let me get a drink, because you know we're getting ready to go through this. Now, Israel, remember what the earlier article said with Don Cornelius? That this man went through 3 decades of health issues? Did anybody hear anything about Don Cornelius trying to commit suicide? This is prior to his Edomite wife. Prior. This man wasn't thinking about no damn suicide. Israel, do y'all see? That spirit is not of Israel. That is not our spirit. And it said that this man hated this woman. Why? Because he married his enemy. And the Most High told us not to. And the Most High said we cannot marry our enemies. We can't even be with strange women, Israel, or strange men. Sisters, you're not excluded. So now, I want to read you something here. We're going back to the scriptures. Now that you have this background, now we're going to go to the scriptures. I want you to go to Tobit. Let's go to Tobit. Let me break this down in Tobit for those who want to think that I'm just making this up. Go to Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. First, we need to look at this here as a law that the Most High gave us. Talking to the kings and princes right now. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets. No, meaning Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Do you see what happens? Do you see what happens, Israel, when we do what the Most High tells us to do? Now, let's look at this. His ex-wife, this Edomite woman, Victoria the Russian model. Did you hear what the article said? That she was going to inherit all of the insurance money. Now, Don Cornelius has children. They didn't get a damn thing. They got nothing. Prophecy, Israel. Prophecy. That Edomite woman inherited all his money. When the Most High said that when we do what we are supposed to do and marry those of our own kindred, that our children will inherit. Don Cornelius, his children did not get it. Prophecy, 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 Israel. This is why following the law, statutes, and commandments are so important. So important. But that's not it, though. That's not it. I want to continue further with this here. And now I want you to go to Proverbs chapter 5. Go to Proverbs chapter 5. Again, the book of wisdom. Proverbs chapter 5. Go to verse 3. Now, let's read this. For the lips of a strange woman, meaning a woman that is outside of Israel. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Israel, especially our kings and our princes, you already know how Esau is. Esau got game. And Esau will, they will, how I want to word this here. They will appeal to your intellect, and they will appeal to your culture. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I love everything about the black culture. Oh, absolutely. I love everything about the Hispanic culture. I love everything about the Native American culture. I love it all. Oh, yes. Right. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and let me get my hair cornrowed. That's right. Let me get a tan. Let me do these things. Let me appeal to you, black man. Let me appeal to you. And when I say black man, that includes the Native Americans and also the Hispanics, because your ass is black. Let me appeal to you. Read it again. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, meaning she spit that game. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. The deceiver. Her feet go down to death. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Do you see what the Most High is saying about these other women of these other nations? Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Saying you can't know their ways. Their ways are not your ways, because they are not of the Most High and you are. Remember what the Most High told us about planting our feet in righteousness? That we got to plant our feet in righteousness? Their feet are planted in hell. Their feet are planted in hell. Our feet should be planted in righteousness. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Remember, the Most High told us, he said, I'm going to direct thy path. I'm going to direct your path. Her ways are movable that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. I don't know what else to say right there. That right there is self-explanatory. And here it is with Don Cornelius. That man took his life dealing with an Edomite that this man said that he hated. That he hated. It's natural for him to hate her because she was his enemy. And the conductor of the soul train popped his brains out over an Edomite woman. Because he was going through such a horrible legal battle. And once they got that money, that's it. That's it. All the athletes and everybody out there, whatever, making money, he like, listen, once your money is through, I'm through with you. They have no allegiance to us. They can't. They cannot have an allegiance to us because the Most High God said those are our enemies. According to scripture, don't get mad at me. Don't take it personal. Don't get in your feelings now. Don't get in your feelings. I'm reading the scriptures. I'm reading the Bible. I'm reading the Bible. I'm reading the Bible. So if anybody has a problem with that, then hey, get tough luck. That's on you. Too bad. Too bad. Israel, that spirit of suicide is not on us. It's not on us. We are not to be dealing with that. And let me tell you this right now, for any person out there that has any of those thoughts or whatnot, I want y'all to reach out to me. Reach out to me. You can reach me on Instagram or by email. On Instagram, it's under my name, Mike Maliss, and my email is mikemalisschannel@gmail.com. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, don't reach out to me with your foolishness. Okay? I'm talking about people who are seriously enduring some horrible things. And you have those horrible thoughts in your mind. Okay? You don't ever have to suffer through that. Never. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some more scripture. I'm going to load you up with scripture so good, I'm telling you, you're going to be bouncing up out of wherever you are. Because we ain't playing no games. We're going to bring these scriptures. I'm going to give you the medicine that the Most High said you need. And that's how it's going to be done. That's how it works. We ain't going to play no games. We got to make sure that spirit of suicide get off our people. We do. We have a nation that we have to build. You understand that? We have a nation that we must build, and we are going to help save our people from this horrible, disgusting suicide dilemma that's going on in our nation. We ain't playing no games no more. And again, I want to say thank you to all the therapists out there, all of you that's pursuing these careers in therapy. And let me tell you again, y'all better be giving our people these scriptures. That is the medicine that they need. That's the medicine they need. They need it, and they need to get it. So serious. And we're not going to ponder on this here for too long. We said what we had to say. We said what we had to say. We ain't dealing with suicide. That ain't coming over our people. You understand that? That is not coming over our people. We're going to deal with it. And when it comes upon our people, we're going to whoop them with these damn scriptures and get that spirit up off of them. And that's how it's going down. All right? So Israel, I'm so glad that we were able to do this here again. And Israel, I just want to say I love y'all so much. I really, really do. I really do. And it is such a pleasure to be able to come and to be with the royal family every Sabbath. I love y'all. I really, really do. And I just want to thank everybody once again for always reaching out to me. And again, let me make the reminder here. As a matter of fact, let me get this here real quick. I want to give all of her information out right now because those in the Tennessee area, I want you to go and support this sister. First of all, let me go ahead and say this. Let me let you know right now. She is a licensed baker. Okay? She is a licensed baker, all right? She don't got roaches crawling up on her cakes. Okay? She has to be inspected, and she has been. All right? So, there ain't no playing around. I want y'all to go and contact this sister here. Let me get her information here again. Let me go ahead and get it and give it out to everybody. Now, she can be found on Facebook under Leah Nashay. LeahNashay. Under Instagram, she is under Carlia Sweet Creations. And here is her cell number, 901-832-0254. And again, that is Sweet Creations on Instagram, and you can find her all over the place. You have the information right there. I'll leave it down in the description. Support our family, Israel. Support our family. And let me tell y'all something. One more time, Israel, I love y'all, and thank you so much for being here. And I want y'all to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sabbath. And I want you to have a dynamic week next week. And remember, this spirit of suicide, it ain't taking over us. We're going to kick suicide's ass. All right? And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.